So let us listen to the three sounds of the bell, and then we can sit comfortably and just check your body. Do you feel comfortable enough, or can you rest enough where you are right now? And then you just need to enjoy your full in breath and your full out breath. That's all, just the breathing, and the feeling of your body. Make sure that you have this intention that you just want to rest where you are right now. Dear respected Thai dear community, today we are the 12th of January in the year 2025. So we are on the 12th day of the year. It means we still have more than 300 days ahead of us in 2025. The question is what we're gonna do with it, this more than 300 days in front of us. So that is the first question for us to contemplate. And sometimes we can ask this question a few times a year. And sometimes you look at, okay, now still have 200 days. What am I going to do in my life? And the second question there are many people ask also, what is the purpose of life? Anybody has that question? There are many people have that question. Whether you are young, you are medium young, or you are not young anymore, you still have that question. What is the purpose of life? Okay. So maybe I answer the second question, which is the easiest one. What is the purpose of my life? I also have this question for quite a long time, and I found an answer for myself. If you feel this answer is good for you, you can borrow it. And you can own it too. And for me, the simplest way of answer to that question is the purpose of life is to live. And that is the only purpose, is to live. And if you ask all the cells in your body, they all agree that the purpose of all the cells are also to be alive. And your whole system in your body, if you ask the whole system in your body, it will tell you also, yes, the purpose of life is to live. Even there are microbes come to your body and try to attack you, the body will defend itself in order to survive and to live. So our body has told us that the purpose of life is to live and continue to develop and enjoy every development, because we are changing every moment, so we should not miss out. Yeah. And some people may say, if I don't have a good childhood, then I miss out my childhood. And the question is, do you really miss out? Because when you look deeply inside of you, that child is still alive. And that child still can smile, that child still can run, that child still can play, and that freshness of that child is still in us. So for myself, I don't see that I miss out. I don't see that I miss out. Because I can still be joyful in the present moment. I still can have a lots of friends in the present moment. Like this morning when we are in the tea corner, that is like a childhood. We just hang out doing nothing. There's nothing serious about in that circle. We just have a chit chat. It's like the children, when they come, they just play. There's no purpose. Yeah. And in this weekend, it's also the same. You give yourself a chance to be like the children during these days in the retreat. You don't need to think about what you need to cook, what you need to eat. Everything is prepared. When the time is coming, the bell is invited, we just all go to the dining hall, serve our food, and we eat. Yeah. And we allow ourselves just to enjoy what is in front of us. The walking meditation, the sitting meditation, everything is prepared. The cushion is prepared. The person who will chant in the morning is prepared. The guided meditation has been prepared. We just enjoy it together. So there are a lot of good things in the present moment, but we need to be there in order to be able to get in touch with all of that wonder. Sometimes when I talk to the people that coming to the retreat is like having holiday in our grandparents' house. You just need to play, and then the time to eat, you go to eat. And then you rest. And then you play, and then you eat again. So it's allow ourselves to come back to our joyful moment, to allow ourselves to be taken care of. And in this case, we are taken care by the community. And in fact, when you look deeply, you are not just a receiver. You are not receiving the care only, but you also offer your care to the community. Those who clean the basins, those who mop the floor, those who clean the table, these are all love. These are all love. We were able to offer that, to support each other. So even in the past, if I don't feel like I received enough love in my childhood, I know that this weekend with the spiritual family, I received that love in order to heal my past. Because in this weekend, we found the father that we need, the mother that we need, the soulmate that we need. the friendship that we need, they are all available. And that's why it can be very healing, even only just a weekend, because everyone is there, is present. And first of all, everyone is being present for themselves. Everyone is doing their best to walk mindfully and breathe mindfully. And that is already the action of love and the purpose of life. To enjoy the breathing, to pay attention to oneself. And when we pay attention to oneself, we also pay attention to the others. We offer our presence to the others. So times is very tricky. Yeah, it's a very tricky. We can meet the past and meet the future in the present. And because I'm able to receive love in the community, then some part of me from the past also get healed. And that healing will continue to the future. So myself today on Sunday is the accumulation of love from Saturday. And we continue each other. I continue you, and you continue me. Yeah. On Friday, you eat the food that I cook. Then you receive my love too. The food that cooked with care and attention. And that continues in you. And that becomes the energy of your physical energy, of your mental energy. So sometimes when we look for healing, that healing is not too far, it's in the present. Because the only times that our eyes can touch the reality, our nose can touch the reality, our body can touch the reality, all our senses that can touch the reality, our feeling is the present. For example, if now you can see your past, whether it's a good memory or a bad memory, that image is not real because it's not your physical eyes who see. It's your memory eyes who sees that event. This is, we say, is like when we watch a movie with the projector. We project the movie on the wall or on a screen, and the act is so real. There are 2-3 people are talking on the screen. Some of them may be angry with each other, some of them maybe love each other, but they are not real. They are just a film, it's a recording. Sometimes dealing with our difficulty from the past, we need to use this view, this right view, to help us, to free us in the present moment. We have to see that even in the past, I had difficult situation. Now, that situation has become a memory. They are not real anymore in the present moment. Even the feeling that we feel today is very real towards the past, it's still, that event is not real. It was real, but it is not real. And of course, it won't be real in the future either. And thanks to the impermanence nature, uh, there are possibility, or not even possibility, a certainty for change. Yeah. We all change, yeah. Every moment change. So we may hold on our hatred, we may hold on our feeling of injustice, we can hold on our disappointment in our heart. But that are not permanent, they all change. If we keep it too long and keep water it, maybe that hatred 10 years ago is less actually, and now it's even bigger because we continue to water that hatred. So the practice of recognizing what is belong to the past and what is belong to the future and what is belong to the present is so important. And sometimes it's very difficult to differentiate where is the future and where is the past and where is the present, because we only have one mind and one feeling, and sometimes the feeling is reflect the past, sometimes the feeling is reflecting the future. When we look at the situation in the world right now, maybe we have a feeling too. When we look at the economy, when we look at the politics, maybe we have a feeling. Yeah. And that feeling is belong to the future because we are afraid of something will happen in the future, whether it's true or not, but that feeling is already there. And sometimes it's just difficult to avoid that feeling. And then the best way is to not run away from that feeling, is to welcome that feeling. So whether that feeling is from the past, whether that feeling is from the future, does not really matter. We just allow it to come here and sit with me. Yeah. Or come here and walk with me. I will take care of you. And once you take care of that feeling, it becomes clearer and clearer where this feeling come from. The more you understand, the more you know this feeling, the more you become friend, the more you're less afraid, the more you're less overwhelmed. Yeah. So you don't need to chase that feeling away. I remember there was one time a teacher from Denmark asked me, "Brother, I have a meditation class with teenagers, with 15, 16 years old teenagers. There are many of them are very anxious and overwhelmed when the period of examination is coming. Can you write something to them?" So I said, okay, I can write something. So I wrote to them the goodness of anxiety. The goodness of anxiety. Is anxiety, anxious, the feeling of anxious it's not pleasant at all. It makes you feel afraid, it makes you feel nausea, it makes you feel many kinds of feeling. It makes you feel insecure. So it's very difficult to embrace that feeling, to allow that feelings to be there is very difficult. So I tell them some ways to gladden their mind, to make their mind happy in order to be able to embrace that anxiety in the present. So I tell them we need to look at the anxiety in a different way. So for me, my practice, the first thing I look at my anxiety is that I have an emotional system that is working very well. That's why I can feel anxiety. Otherwise, my heart will feel numb. Yeah? So it means my emotional system is working. That's why I can feel my anxiety coming up. I can feel my fear coming up. So that is already the first good things uh, on myself. And the second thing is when I can feel anxious or I can feel anxiety, it means I have future. If I know that I don't have future anymore, I don't worry about the future anymore. Yeah. But because I still believe that I have future, that's why I have anxiety. If I know that today is my last day, I don't care about tomorrow anymore. Yeah. So I don't have anxiety about tomorrow because anyway, I will die today. But because I still believe that I have tomorrow and next week and next year and next 10 years, that's why I have a certain level of anxiety. And if I don't take care of it, it becomes overwhelming me. And the same is true with examination. So we know that the examination is coming next week. And that's why we have a future. And that's why we can welcome that future. So this is also something that is very natural in our mind, that we are not very safe on something that we don't know. So this is something that we have to remember, that the nature of our mind is we don't feel secure about our future because the future is unknown. You cannot perceive with your eyes, you cannot perceive with your ear, you cannot perceive with your body. So it's always unknown, and that's why we feel very uncertain and we feel anxious about it. Because nobody can be certain about the future. So that is another way of looking at anxiety. And when we can gladden our mind like this, we are able to embrace that anxiety and we are not afraid of that anxiety anymore. And that feeling cannot overwhelm us anymore because they are friend. It's a good friend. So we change the way we look at our anxiety. And when a feeling is being recognized, a feeling is being embraced, a feeling that being accepted, that feeling will relax itself. It's like you. If somebody recognizes you, accept you, and allow you to be there, you feel safe. You feel relaxed. So by being able to embrace, to allow, we can taking care, we can navigate our feeling, whether it is anxiety or fear or anger, we can take care of it. But first, we need to be able to make our mind happy, to have a certain level of positivity, to embrace, to look at that feeling. And sometimes we look down at the good feeling. We think that we are always ready for good feeling. But in fact, we are also not good in welcoming the good feeling. Let's say you have free time. Free time should be a good feeling. But if you don't know how to handle the free time, we get panic in the present moment. And you don't know what to do. Yeah. So we also need to learn how to embrace the good moment. And that's why we practice being present in the present moment so that we can embrace the good and the bad things in here and now. So we don't discriminate. Yeah. Or sometimes we are carried away by our good feeling. we feel so nice, we feel so happy, we are so energized, and we consume all of that energy by doing all the things that is not very clear. And then at the end of the day, you feel depressed because you use all of that energy. I caught myself in the past many times like that. I feel so energized, and then I use all of them, and at the end of the day, I feel so depressed. And then I have to learn from that mistakes. And when I have a good feeling, I just use it slowly by slowly. I preserve it as much as I can, so that that feeling can last as long as possible. And that is meditation. Yeah. Meditation is to cultivate what we want to cultivate, because we have a lot of good seeds inside of us, a good quality we all have, and we can cultivate that. We can cultivate love, we can cultivate compassion, we can cultivate so many things inside of us. And the second purpose of meditation is to avoiding all the things that can cause us suffering. To not water the bad seed inside of us, because we all have the bad seed also, because we are born complete. Yeah. We don't want to water that seed, especially we know already who we are. Like, I am someone who is easily feels sad, for example. Then we should not watch too much sad film and listen to the sad songs. We have to avoid that, because we have already big seeds of sadness. Maybe we need to cultivate happiness more. Yeah. And the third purpose of meditation is, if we have the non-beneficial action or mind, or the seeds has manifest into our life, we want to take care of it, to understand it, to embrace it, so that it can go to sleep again. And the fourth purpose of meditation is, if the good seeds has sprout into reality, we do our best to also embrace it and maintain it as long as possible. This is what we call the 4 diligence, or the 4 efforts in meditation. And this is one of the 8 noble paths. So this 4 diligence is also mindfulness. So our mindfulness is not just look for well-being, but the mindfulness that we have is to cultivate and to stop watering the seed that is not beneficial for us. And that 4 things: to water the good seed, not water the negative seeds, embrace the negative seeds that has sprout, and to maintain the good seeds that has sprout. That is a very a technical term in meditation in Buddhism. If we want to make it, we want to modernize that 4 things into 1 things, we can call it ethics. It has to do with the action. So mindfulness not only related to the 4 diligence or the 4 efforts, but is also related to action. So because 4 diligence is also action, through the thinking, through the speech, and through the bodily action. So with mindfulness, we can navigate our action through thinking, through speech, and through physical action too. Let's say, as I said before, I know that I have a big seed of sadness. I recognize it. Then what I need to do is to not watering the bad seeds, which is the sadness. So I should not watch the movie or listen to the song that can water that seed of sadness. If inside of me I have a lot of sensual lust, let's say, and I recognize it, then I know I should not see, listen, or engage with something that will water that seeds. And if I see that I don't have much feeling of freedom, happiness, love, then I can water that seeds to cultivate it. So this ethics is not based on what is right and what is wrong. This ethics is based on happiness, it's based on freedom, it's based on right view. This morning when we listen to the text of Touching of the Earth, this is something that we water the good seed inside of us, which is the seeds of connection. Because the culture that we may live in, telling us that we need to be independent, we need to be self-sustained, we need to live separately from each other, we need to have our own personal boundaries, we need to protect ourselves, that create a lot of tension inside of us. So by opening up the other seeds of connection towards our descendant, our ancestor, it allows us to feel connected. It heals the separation. It heals the feeling of loneliness and alienation. Yeah. When we connect to our ancestor, we know that we connect with all good seeds and unwholesome seeds. When we see the descendant, we know that we ourselves as a generation, we also does not keep anything with us. We transmit what we have completely. It's almost like genetically, you transmit everything, all the information in your DNA to the next generation. Yeah. It will record all the information in that small stream. Yeah. And we will not hold anything for the future. We don't say, future generation, I give you only the bad things because I want to keep all the good things for me. Or you cannot say, oh, I only want to give the good things and I will keep all the bad things with me. Cannot. We transmit everything fully without any discrimination. So that contemplation, that meditation of interbeing help us to water the seeds of connection and allow the seeds of separation to slowly slip into our consciousness. I know this is very difficult to understand. Even just say good seed and bad seed is very discriminative already. But this is just to help us to identify which seeds can bring us to suffering and which seeds can bring us to happiness. Yeah, so if we ask what is meditation, is this four diligence or four efforts. So when we do meditation, it's not about the posture, it's about the whole system, our body and mind. So if we say, I want to deepen my meditation, what does it mean? It means we want to live deeply in the present moment. We want to be more aware when we brush our teeth. We want to be more aware when we open the door. We want to be more aware when we eat, when we wash our dishes, when we sweep the floor. We want to be more mindful. We want to be more present, because that presence will help us to get in touch deeply in the present moment and to understand what is happening. There are a lot of things that we cannot really see, and we need to have a deep looking in order to be able to see. It's like when you look at a flower, maybe our mind is just like, oh, that is just flower with pink color, it's beautiful, and we are just stopping in that surface. But when we are able to look deeply, we see that that flower, inside of that flower, has also the water. It means it also have the rain. It also have the ocean inside. It means it also have the particle of the sun. Without the particle of the sun reaching the flower, it won't bloom either. The heat of the temperature, the air, they are all there in one flower. The whole cosmos are there in one flower. And that will water the seed of vastness and freedom inside of us when we look deeply into a flower. And when we look into ourselves, we also see so many things. So in order to be successful in our meditation, we need to let go the idea of meditation, especially the narrow idea of meditation. And if you want to simplify the word meditation, is to live deeply in life. And then you come back again. What is the purpose of life? Is to live. And in order to live, then you need to be there for our life, especially in the present, because that is the only real life that we have. Because when it passes, it becomes a projector. When it is still in the future, it's still in imagination. It's not real yet. 5 minutes later, I don't know what happened. It's still in the form of unknown. And the only thing I know now is I speak, sharing what I understand to everyone. And hopefully, this sharing can open up, pop up something in everyone's heart and everyone's mind. I don't know. Yeah. And that is the only real things in the present that I have. So now it's 10:15. I think I speak enough. We don't need to have too long talk. I want to end here. And if you have question, you can ask. I will invite one son of the bell. And if you have question, you can raise your hand and you can ask question. Yes.
Brother, thank you. Can you share a bit more on the concept of emptiness? The question I wanted to ask this morning when I said I'll wait till I wash my body was exactly what is the purpose of life? So thank you for hearing me without hearing me. How can we live joyfully and also practice the concept of emptiness?
Okay. How do we live joyfully, happily with the concept of emptiness? Is that? Yeah. emptiness is not a concept, it's a reality in the present moment. We only can realize that if we have enough mindfulness, concentration, and the insight is we see very clearly that we are empty of a separate self. We like in the brain that is no the brain CEO, there is no brain manager, there is no brain director. They are all doing together, all the cells are doing together according to the stimulation. Yeah. So emptiness, if we misunderstood, then we can understand as nothingness. But when you say nothingness, how can be nothingness? I can see clearly that you are there. I can see that you are sitting there. How can you say there's nothingness? Yeah. So the emptiness is not nothingness. The meaning of emptiness is just the emptiness of a separate self. I cannot be definitely I am, because it's impossible. If I take a little bit of sample of my skin and I bring it to the laboratory and test the DNA, they can find so many people in there. And when I say I am, it's also a collection of things. Which one is I am? Is it my face? Is it my body? Is it my hand? Is it my leg? It has to be the whole things. It's a collection of things. And how can we live joyfully with that? Of course, we can be very happy with that insight. We can have a lot of courage. We can have a lot of power. It is because we can find anything that we need in the present moment inside of us. If you are dealing with difficult times, with the insight of emptiness, you know that those who are wise, those who are powerful in your family, in your society, they are all in you. You can call them up. You can water the seed, water that person up in you. Our parents, our teachers, our friends, they are all in us. Those who are brave, those who are strong, they are all in us. And probably they are in a sleeping mode. And with the practice of watering the good seeds, we can water that potential to come up. And sometimes the brothers ask me, how can you do so much things in one time? Like, how do you have time to do so many things, like learning so many things at the same time? It is because I know that everything is already there. I just need to water. 3 years ago, I did not write any songs. But in my heart, I really want to write songs because I'm so disappointed when I go to YouTube or something. I want to enjoy music, but the word is not nice. Yeah. The word is about flirting, it's about someone is cheating, or broken heart, or being betrayed. I cannot listen to this music because it water all the bad seed inside of me. Or someone is really like drunk in love. I cannot listen to this music. Because that kind of song, it make me imagine something that I don't have. Let's say I listen to a song that is about someone who is really drunk in love with somebody else. Yeah. that will water the seed in me. And I will not be able to see my community as my love anymore. And I will start to imagine that someone else is my love. Yeah. And sooner or later, I will destroy my monastic life, for example. Yeah. And that is not only for monastic, even those who has a couple life, partnership life, is the same, because your relationship is not always like a Hollywood movie romantic. Life is very changing, unexpected, and sometimes the relationship can be very difficult. And then you listen to this song and you think that, oh, maybe this is not my love, and my love is another person, and you start to water a different seeds, and your action go different way. So the emptiness of practice of emptiness is to recognize that everything is already in me, and I can be happy. I can face all my difficulty with the strength that I have already inside of me. Now maybe I don't have. Maybe after I water that seed, it will come up in me. Yeah. And 2 years ago, I started to be able to write songs. And I'm so happy. And now I can write my own song and listen to my own song. And that song is Water the Good Seed in Me. Help me to face all the difficulty in my life. And if I can look for some other songs from the playlist, which is good, I can continue to collect the good songs also to listen. So that kind of freedom we want to have. So emptiness can be very joyful and can be very motivating in the present moment, knowing that we are all made of everything. And at the same time, you also can take care of yourself, because we know that we also have unwholesome seed inside of us, and we don't want to water that seed. Yeah. Next question. Yes.
You said something also about the seeds, like don't water the bad seeds inside of you. For example, sadness. You said sadness. If you are sad or react sad person, avoid watching sad movies. But I can imagine that you will have like sad moments in your life. People died close to you, for example. And won't it be like if you always have avoided your sadness, and somebody close to you dies, it will come in much harder than if you have like via sad movies, for example, try to contain the sadness. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes, that's a very good question. The answer is don't be afraid. You will get sad very easily. All the unwholesome seed is very well trained already in us. Like, for example, you don't need to worry that one day you cannot get angry anymore. You will be able to get angry at any time if the seed is getting watered. That is something for sure. Yeah. So don't worry that we will lose our capacity. That is a very good question, because at the beginning of my meditation journey, I also think that, oh, maybe one day I will not get angry anymore. One day I will not get depressed anymore. One day I will not feel anxiety anymore. But then I say, like, if I really cannot get angry anymore, it means I become handicapped emotionally. It means there's something that I cannot respond in my environment. And that is not good. And I don't want to be like that, someone who have a situation and you cannot have a feeling, for example. So I don't want to be like this. I want to be alive, all my emotional system to be alive. I can feel my anger, I can feel my sadness, I can feel my happiness. So at the end, I say, okay, I don't want to meditate in order to amputate my feeling. So that is not my purpose, but my purpose is to be able to completely alive, but to be able to take care of it and to navigate all my feeling and to have that freedom and to have that agency. So when life sometimes is easy, life sometimes is difficult, I have to be able to live that life also that is difficult, and to find a way to live difficult life too. And grief is another thing. Like when we separate from someone or someone that we love pass away, for example, and there are many ways to face that process. It's a process, and we need to go through that process. Mm. When my mother passed away, I was pretty shocked, so that I don't have feeling. But then, my mind is started make a trick, telling me that, see, your practice is very solid. Even your mother passed away, you feel neutral. You don't feel sadness. And I tell to myself, no. Don't create that story. That is not a normal story to be told. Yeah. I say, I don't have feeling right now, yes. But it is not because I'm a good practitioner. It's just because the feeling has not yet come out. It has nothing to do with good practitioner or not good practitioner. So for me, I just tell myself, okay, there is a situation happening in my family. My mother passed away. So what I need to do is, the question is, what can I contribute to this condition, to this situation? Should I contribute with sadness that I don't feel right now? Should I force myself to feel sadness? This kind of question. I say, no, I don't need to force anything. What I need to contribute is to have enough peace in the family. That is something that I want to contribute. So I tell myself I will walk mindfully throughout my trip to Indonesia, and then after that I will meditate with her. Yeah. And I meditate on her. I see that she was born alone, and then she multiplied herself to her children, to her husband, and with all her friends that she has. So her life become part of many people. And this body who passed away is just one of many people. Let's say if it is, we simplify it into her children. Let's say in our family we are 7, including my dad. So it means we are one family, 7 of us. It's a 1/7 that is passed away, not everyone. Yeah. So I can slowly see that this is just one of the life that the other people. So her life is finished, then she alive in us. She is alive now in the other 6. Yeah. So that is the continuation, to look at that continuation. And then I look at our relationship and everything, and reconcile if I have something that I don't feel that the relationship still have stagnant, I let go. And then the last one is also, I see that actually my mom has passed away so many times, because when I was a child, her face was not like that. Her body was not like that. She was not as old as what I see right now. So that mom, when I was kid, she already passed away a long time ago. And when I was teenager, she is also a different woman. And that woman also has passed away. And this is just the next person who passed away too. And so this is not the only death that I have faced on her. I have faced so many deaths of her. So this is just one of it. And this one is the most difficult because I don't see the body anymore. Yeah. The other one, I still see a continuation of a body, which is even not the same as before, but I still recognize it as my mom. And I can see everything. And then the last part, the very last one, I say, okay, then I have to allow grief to manifest itself one day. Maybe now I don't have, but one day it will come. I don't need to be hurry, because grief can come at any time. It does not have to come now, because when you water a seed, it does not sprout directly. It needs times to sprout. Yeah. And I say I need to practice humility, to be humble, that I still can grieve, maybe not now, maybe later. Give myself a time. So I give myself a year to have grief. So after 7 days, I need to check if I still have grief or not. And after 49 days, I check again, do I have grief or not? Or if I have, can I let go? After 1 year, can I let go? And actually, the grief comes in the right time. Yeah. So 1 month after, I start to feel the grief. Yeah. It was because I always call her regularly, and one day I forget that she passed away. And I feel like, oh, I want to call my mom, and I remember that she passed away. And that is the seed where I water, and the grief in the right time sprout. And then I already prepare myself a month ago that I will have grief. So when the grief come out, I don't feel afraid anymore. I can embrace it. I can allow it to be there. And I can live with my grief for some times, because I know that when the unwholesome seed come out, I take care of it for a while, it will go to sleep again. And then I have to be able to transform from grief to love. Because water and ice are the same material. You just need to give some condition, and the water become the ice, and the ice become the water. Transformation. So then I transform my grief into love. I see very clearly that I have love on her, and I think about her. That is my love. Yeah. And every time I think about her, I know that is my love. And that's why the grief can slowly transform into love. I think that is enough. It's 10:30 now. We can end the session, and after this session, we can put all the mats and cushion to the side, and then we can practice walking meditation. And in this walking meditation, we can practice recognizing what is wonderful in the present moment. Yeah. So every step we say, this is a wonderful moment. This is present moment. This is wonderful moment. And we don't need to think about what does it mean, wonderful. Your mind will tell you why this moment is wonderful. And you walk in that way every step and relax your whole body. Every step you say, I arrive in the present, and this is the wonderful moment. Why this is wonderful moment, your mind will tell you. Will tell you why this is called wonderful moment. So thank you for your listening, and take what you need from the speech today and let go what you don't need. Or keep it somewhere. It will grow later.